Hey guys, it's Roast here with another Tarkov video today, and today I want to talk about the Bitcoin farm. And specifically, the question of, is the Bitcoin farm worth it this wipe? Now, this is important because this wipe is special with an earlier end date, so it's shorter overall, but also Bitcoin value is higher, but also graphics cards and fuel have gone up in price to reflect that. So in today's video, I'm going to cover all the math for if the farm is worth it and just how much you stand to make using one. Make sure to subscribe if you are new, but for now, let's get into it. So first off, we got to talk about the cost of getting a Bitcoin farm up and running. You're going to need to have played a little bit of Tarkov, as you need to be level 24 and you need to have rep with Therapist, Skier, and Jaeger at levels 2 and 3 to just build the stuff in the hideout that you need. You'll also have to spend a fair amount on the hideout stuff, like getting all your random things to 3, a lot of your crafting stations to 3, just to be allowed to build the Bitcoin farm. And then building the Bitcoin farm itself before the graphics cards is going to cost you around 1 million. And that's kind of rough because the graphics cards are not cheap. They're gonna add another 400k-ish each for a total of 4 million rubles just to max out your level 1 Bitcoin farm. Now, I know that sounds like a steep price tag, and it is, okay? Your boy's struggling. I only got 3 out of 10 because I'm being slow. But the benefits you get are just insane. So let's get into those now, because we all want to see the green numbers, we want to see the dollar bills, we want to see the money, right? Okay, so at level 1, a Bitcoin farm will produce 1 Bitcoin every 40 to 30 hours, depending on the number of GPUs inside. There's a weird, confusing formula that I'll link in a spreadsheet that I got in the description. Maybe I'll put a picture on screen if you want to calculate it for any other number of graphics cards in your Bitcoin farm, but just keep the basics of 40 to 30 hours per Bitcoin for level 1 in mind. 1 Bitcoin sells to Therapist for about 365k rubles. So as long as we can get the fuel for making that Bitcoin for less than 365k rubles, we are in business. Currently, blue fuel, the expeditionary fuel tanks, last 12 hours, and if I look for this item, it should cost around 85,000 per. Let's see real quick. Yeah, oh, they're up now, 95, yikes. So don't buy them when they're this expensive. I mean, you'll still make your money, but make as much money as you can, right? And then metal fuel tanks cost around, oh, these have gone down. They're 160. I was looking at 185s earlier. But anyways, they're 160 right now, and that's for 20 hours. The blue ones are only for 12. So that makes the cost roughly 6.7 thousand per hour if you're buying blue fuel tanks, and 8.8k roughly per hour if you're buying metal fuel tanks. The trade-off is that metal is going to last you 20 hours each, and the expeditionary fuel tanks only will last you 12. Now, that means if you are checking frequently, use expeditionary fuel tanks because they are cheaper, but metal fuel tanks will last a lot longer if you just want to turn your computer on, log into Tarkov once a week, kick this off, and leave it, all right? Now, that's not ideal, but that's what you want to do it. I'm not going to judge you. But anyways, given that we only need 40 hours at maximum for 1 Bitcoin, assuming we do 6.7k for the blue fuel tanks, that is 40 times 6.7 or 268,000 rubles worth of fuel to get 365,000 worth of Bitcoin, even at your basic ass level 1 Bitcoin farm. That is 100k profit per Bitcoin at level 1 using 1 GPU. So after only 4 Bitcoins have been produced, you will have made back your investment in graphics cards. But we want to scale this up, and I really want to know how much exactly can you make per hour, and how long will it take you to make back the maximum investment you can do at that level 3 Bitcoin farm. So I made a spreadsheet that would tell me exactly that number. Here it is. Once you get up to 10 GPUs, you make a Bitcoin every 29.4 hours, and that is 6,000 rubles an hour, doing literally nothing. That crazy part is this is assuming you aren't using the fuel for crafts. If you're using the fuel for crafts, your rubles per hour goes crazy. It'll only take you about 2 weeks, because this is without fuel costs. This is with fuel costs including. It'll take you about 2 weeks to make back your money, and then it is 150k a day for free until the end of the wipe. These numbers also assume your hideout management skill. Well, not now. These numbers assume your hideout management skill is level 1, so it's about 140k per day. Still really juicy. If you don't know, hideout management is a skill you get by burning through your fuel and stuff. So if you look at your character and skills, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see crafting and hideout management. Crafting makes your crafts take less time, and hideout management, well, excluding bitcoins, unfortunately. And hideout management increases the percentage potential from your hideout, but the more important thing is it reduces your fuel, air, and water filter consumption per each level. Now, if we go back here, this spreadsheet accounts for that, and you can punch in whatever number you want, even up to 50, which I think is the max. But we're just going to keep it at 5 for now, because I think that's fair. You'll get there really quickly. What's important to note with this is this level increasing as you earn fuel means that each Bitcoin you make will help make the next Bitcoin even cheaper, which means even more profit, right? It's very juicy. Now, but what about levels 2 and 3, you ask? Well, they have some similar return rates as the level 1 farm, but the time to make your money back gets longer and longer with each additional GPU you buy. Now, the crazy thing is, as long as you get the farm done at least 40 days before the end of wipe, you are going to make back your your graphics card investment. And you will be at maxed out 50 GPUs, level 20 hideout management skill, because by the time you get there, you will have that. You are making 500,000 rubles a day doing literally nothing. That's insane to me, right? That's not the craziest number in the world, I know, but that's crazy to me, okay? That's a couple kits, or at least some kitted kits, if you know what I'm saying, right? Now, I personally don't plan on going nuts and trying to max out Bitcoin 3 because that's just a lot of time investment for those levels, but everyone should be maxing out level 1 at least and trying to get to 2 because it's just too good. It's just too good, right? And, I was thinking, I thought, what else might be fun to put in here for numbers, right? And I was like, well, how much money can you make? Because that's the question in the video is, how much money can you make with the Bitcoin farm? So I thought, well, what if I just put in a number that was how much money you would make this wipe if you had any level of this farm and you ran it constantly till an assumed wipe date of Christmas 2023. So I found that. Just a little trick here. So it's 93 days until Christmas, right? And assuming you ran your Bitcoin farm at whatever level you have it, all the way till the end of wipe, this is how much you make. Notably, a level 1 GPU farm makes you 6.5 million rubles. 1 GPU. Level 1 maxed is going to get you 14 million rubles. Level 2 maxed is going to be about 27 million rubles. And level 3 maxed is going to be almost 50 million rubles between now and the end of wipe. Now, Christmas 2023 might not be the wipe date, and if it's not, well, these numbers are going to be a little off. But it's the best I got, so I'm going to assume it, okay? But holy crap. So much. That's so much. This makes me excited when I see oh yeah, I'm gonna make all this money. Let's go. Quick tip from Editing Roast. I remembered that when you use the metal and blue fuel tanks, you can do a trick with them where you craft them into further things in the laboratory. So make sure you're turning your blue tanks into the mag cases and the metal tanks into either grenade cases, if you want that, or piranha shells in the workbench, because piranha shells are basically slightly worse flechette if you don't want to actually make flechette because it's a bit more expensive. Right here's the craft if you're curious. Anyways, that's all I've really got on the Bitcoin farm on Tarkov until we get any more news about it or until Bitcoin prices change, because that's the scary thing is this could go like this and then we're in trouble. Now it shouldn't, because last wipe they artificially jumped this up, but I don't know, right? Anyways, that's all I've got until more. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new and want more Tarkov tips and tricks, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to help even more, consider subscribing to me on Patreon to help give me a little bit of money each month to help make more of these awesome videos for you guys. And while I mention the Patreon, I want to say thank you to my current patrons. I hope to see you guys all in the future in my future videos. But until then, keep it beefy, boys.
Hello there.